visually impaired.
Blind and
Is it blind? Blind is one, and visually impaired.
okay. This is blind and
And visually impaired.
impaired. And the last is learning disabilities.
Okay.
Learning disabilities. This means the Down syndrome.
Yes.
And this is the official one.
Yes,
Okay.
it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And it's called.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay.
This is the first
Yeah,
championship.
I can hear.
Okay, and they will become world champion. Okay, sorry.
Learning disability.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Perfect.
So we have three category: blind and visibility,
Wheelchair.
wheelchair,
Wheelchair.
and learning disability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you were just asking us to do a sound check, but we were going to be talking very briefly about the first championships in the World Championships in Bremen for karateka with disabilities. There are three categories: those with wheelchair yeah. Yes, and they will become the first world champions for people with disability in karate. So that will be fantastic. So I thought we would talk about that today.
Yeah. So again, we have the three. Yeah, we have blind and visibility with visibility,
Yeah, so
and
it's,
then
it's blind
wheelchair,
and visually impaired.
visually,
Visually impaired.
visually,
And karateka with learning disabilities.
and karateka with learning disability.
And this would be, for example, people with Down
Yeah.
syndrome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then there are those people that are practicing karate but are confined to wheelchair.
Yeah. So
So they're the three categories, Ursula.
yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's good.
Is that okay? Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Okay, so the first event we'll have is the male team kata,
Yeah.
Italy versus Spain. As yesterday, we didn't have the names of the individuals of the people in the team, but so I've taken those today, so we now know. The only problem we don't have.
Potaro is current European champion. And which one won yesterday? Was second.
Yeah, one moment. Let me just get
I
this
think it's
on
also
screen.
Martin. Martin is the second. Huh? I think Battaglia was the former.
Yeah, I have in here.
Yeah, Martin
So
is.
these are the results from yesterday.
Yeah,
Kata, so Botaro.
yeah.
Botaro won.
Is the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Martin.
Yeah,
3-2.
and Martin is second. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can make reference to both of these.
Yeah.
So after 2 minutes we are going to start last finals of this day and also this European.
And Aliyev yesterday lost against Terkan. Huh?
In
Aliyev.
against Erkin. Yes, he did.
Should be over.
No, not Aliyev. It was Atamov.
It was Atamov. The second one, yeah. Atamov.
Yeah.
And Aliyev, he was fighting also yesterday, no?
Aliyev was fighting yesterday.
Yeah, on the 67.
Yeah, and he got a silver
He was silver
against Jordan.
Jordan.
And it went to 1-1. Remember,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
Hentei decision.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Eli tuossa tuli juuri tieto sieltä TV-puolen henkilöltä, että olemme pari minuuttia myöhässä. And I just got information from the TV channel that we are a couple minutes late, so we will start after 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Hakamasta Stadium, the ice hockey stadium here in the beautiful city of Tampere in Finland. We are here for the 49th European Karate Championships, and we've got an afternoon of spectacular karate waiting for you. We have the male team kata, we have the female team kata, and the final event of the championships this year will be the male team Kumite between Turkey and Azerbaijan. But before we get to that, we need to tell you a little bit about what's been going on over the last 4 days here in Tampere. We've had some brilliant, exciting karate with individual fighters taking medals in bronze. For example, the first medal for Finland yesterday with the Helena Korisito from Finland, and she took a medal for bronze at 68 plus kilogram. She beat the Croatian 7-1, which was a convincing win. But we need to tell you also about some of the rule changes. And this will be regarding an opportunity for coaches to contest a point if they believe that their competitor has scored. Each has a red or a blue card, respectively, and they can present that to ask for the decision to be reviewed. We've seen some successes of this happening over the last few days. Now, joining me today here, I'm Billy Brennan, and I'm joined by Dominic Sigilo from Switzerland, and Dominic was a former competitor in both kata and kumite. Dominic is also on the European Karate Technical Committee and is involved with much of what's going on here in the facilities. So, good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, very fine.
Looking forward to an exciting afternoon of karate?
Yes, of course. We had good bronze medals fighting this morning, and now we look for the final.
Brilliant. And over the last 4 days, we've been watching the eliminations here in Tampere in the Hakamasta Stadium. And we've got the first event, which is going to be taking place this afternoon. This is the male team kata. It's between Italy and Spain. For Italy, we have Bocciato, we have Iodici, and also Tocco. And Bocciato is a new European individual champion. He won his gold medal yesterday, which in a surprise result for me and for Dominic, beating Quintero from Spain. In the Spanish team, it will be blue. We have Quintero, Salazar, and Carbonell. As you can see, the competitors are on the tatami, waiting to take the bow and to commence the team kata. Akka will go first in red, followed by Ao. And if you're not familiar with the rules for team kata, each of the teams will perform, first of all, their individual, their kata itself, followed by the bunkai, or the meaning of the kata, afterwards. So here we go. Male team kata, European Championship final. First out, Italy.
The Italian, their style Shotokan.
Now the bow commences the clock, and the kata team has 6 minutes to perform their kata. And the kata that's been chosen by the Spanish team, by the Italian team, is Gankaku from Shotokan. Gankaku is a complex kata, and a significant element of this is about balance, particularly on the turns for the Jodan Yoko Geris, which you will see shortly. Tobi Mai Geri. Judges will be looking for synchronization for the kata, and that is that all of the team are working as one. Stances will be checked in here, Kibadachi. This is the moving quickly now into Kekotsadachi. Again, looking very carefully to see if all of the team are moving as one and not using any external cues, such as banging on the gi, excessive breathing, or whether one moves slightly before the other, so that they have a cue to follow.
And they watch
And
also.
here is the first balance area, isn't it, Dominique?
Yes, and they look also if they take risk or they do it on the easy way.
And the second. Crane on a rock. It's about perfect balance, perfect control. Kajitsuki. There are 4 of these slow and then explosive techniques. And now a spin.
Difficulty is to stop, and
You
that
can see,
he lost a little
you can
bit of
see it
balance.
just on the left. The competitor on the left with just a little bit off balance. And of course, synchronization is really important, but also balance. So both of those would be, under the rules for kata, fouls and taken into consideration. But now we move on to the bunkai, the meaning of the kata. And at the moment, the clock says 3 minutes and 24 seconds left. All 3 competitors must take part. They try to make it as realistic as they possibly can in relation to the kata. Dominic, what do you think so far?
So far it's quite very good. They had good timing, distance is correct, and also they take risk for doing spectacularly. That's also one of the part.
And in your opinion, Dominic, does this reflect Gankaku sufficiently for you?
Yes, we can follow the kata, and I think that's also a very important point.
Spinning, reverse sweep, taking your opponent to the floor, finishing with the Gyakuzuki. 1 minute, 59 seconds left on the clock.
So the time shouldn't be a problem.
Good flow, good rhythm.
Yes, it looks like a fight, and that's what the bunkai means.
In the bunkai, they have to be very careful that they don't injure each other, because that could be a big problem for them.
That's correct.
And it's a foul if they were to do so. Fouls are basically relating to the balance, the movements, the synchronization, whether, as I said, there are any audible cues, any time wasting, or if there is an injury.
So that was the first time it's the young Italian team.
52 seconds left, and the clock stops at the bow. As you can see, 49 seconds left of the match. So
There's no
the
problem
Italian's
about
performance
the
of Gankaku was good. But
Yeah,
is
it
it
was
good
good,
enough
yeah.
to beat the Spanish?
We see now Spanish, they have a lot of experience. and we will see what's happened now. We have a lot of changement now in the nearly all the categories. Much young people comes in and brings some new people, and
So we have Spain about to perform their kata with, in the center, Quintero, Salazar and Cabanel.
this time Shitoryu.
And the kata they're performing is Anan. Shitoru kata. Yesterday we saw Quintero take a silver medal with Super MP
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
against Bazzato from Italy, who performed Goji Shiodai. Anan. Again, looking for the synchronization, the speed, athleticism. This looks good. This opening sequence of the kata.
Yeah, they don't
The
waste
rhythm.
time for.
No. And they're taking the risk. That's turning quickly.
Yeah.
Balance. Looking at Modric. Hand position on the left competitor. Fingers are open, that will be looked at. Fingers are open in Quintero on the front hand. Fast movement into Shukodachin and back into high stance. Very good synchronization, Dominic, don't you think?
Yes, very good. And compared to years before, they don't waste time just to stop and wait. So the time they helps to go forward with the techniques and don't do some superficial techniques or stops inside the kata.
Quintero finishing just a fraction of a second before the other two guys there from a synchronization point of view. Now the difference between the bunkai, which is now starting, and the kata, there's a 50-50 balance. Equal scores for both. So you can have a good kata performance, but you also have to have good bunkai performance. I think already this is, for me, Dominic, I don't know about you, but for me, I believe this is starting to edge their way forward now in a better position against the Italian team.
Yeah, they had a very good start, and but we can see also the realistic of the kata.
And the hikate on the zuki, I think, is important.
That's
We've seen that.
important,
We
yeah.
saw this in Paris with the Japanese team. They started to bring this realistic karate back into the kata performance.
Yeah, I think that's an important point. And if you can control this, so it's more difficult and should be paid also.
We have 2 minutes 38 seconds left for the Spanish team to complete their kata. And so far they're looking very impressive with their performance of Anan. There's no doubt in my mind that Quintero will be reeling from his silver medal position yesterday. He won't be happy at all with that. Great Jogo and Yoko Geri.
I think the
Very, very impressive. And we have the World Championships coming up in Bremen later this year in Germany. This team is going to be preparing for that, using this European Championships as a stepping stone. If they can come off this mat with a European team title. It will take them into the World Championships full of confidence.
And we see the both Spanish team, the individual they lost yesterday, and maybe they give them some more power today to show, take more risk, and they really want to win, and you can see that.
And that is an interpretation of the finish of the kata anan. 54 seconds still left on the clock, which will stop the moment the team bow.
So kata was good, performance of Bunkai was very good also.
Okay, so dare we put our neck on the block and call a result here? I'm going to. In my opinion, it's a win for the Spanish team. Ow. But I was wrong yesterday.
But
this time the judges agree.
First and winner and European champion, Team Spain. Espanjan.
So vindication, as you can see. Quintero punching the air. He's got a European title again.
I think the Italian was very good. There's a
yes.
very young team, first time on the European Championship. They're happy that they're in the final.
Fantastic. They've gone away with a well-earned silver medal in the team event. And again,
Yes.
they'll be preparing for Bremen in Germany.
But they will have also a big future. And of course, they have to follow the former team who won for many years. I think 13 years they won in a row. And
just looking at some of the action from the European champions, Jodan Yokogeri, using the palm strike. Spectacular technique. Kick was a little low. It should have been higher on the back of the neck or either on the back of the head, but never mind. It doesn't stop their celebration. European team kata champions. Spanish national team. We move on to the female team kata. This time it's also a Spain-Italy final. In the Spanish team, who will be red, Aka, we have Garzia, Martin and Morata. And for Italy, we have Battaglia, Potaro and Pezzetti.
Potter also she won yesterday the individual kata, and Martin was second.
So once again, we have two individual finalists opposing each other with their colleagues in their teams. And look at the concentration of Martin. Potaro ready to take her individual European title and extend that to include the team title if she can possibly do so.
Yeah, but this time is different because the Italian and the Spanish team, since many years they are here, both have big experience, so it will be more difficult this time.
I think so. This is going to be a real contest. Spain taking the mat first in red. And to announce their kata. And as the men's team from Spain, they also have chosen the kata anan from Shitoru.
So this time it will be 2 times Shitoryu. So the Italian they practice the Shitoryu.
Yeah. Again, looking for speed. Remember those fouls that we talked about? Looking for the balance, the movements, and the movements, the transition between the movements. So when you're stepping forward, as they will in a moment here, Maigari, and the strike. So the strike should land as the foot lands, and it mustn't land, do a kind of 1-2. Kick, strike. That's good. Always looking for synchronization. No audible cues. We used to hear a lot of the sound coming from the breathing, and of course it's easy for the others to start to listen for this and know when to move. Slapping on the gi, all of these are deemed to be external cues and would result in foul. The Zenkutsudachi here just on the left-hand side, on the right side, is a little longer than the others. There was a good Zenkutsudachi. Chikodachi. Again, looking at symmetry in the hand position. Nikashidachi. Anazuki. Angle on these stances need to be the same, and they finish with the performance of the kata. 3 minutes, 45 seconds left to complete the bunkai for Anand. How will this compare with the men's performance? Will the choreography of the kata, the bunkai of the kata, be similar, or will they choose to do their own interpretation?
That's a bit different, yeah. The women.
This time the spinning uromawashi was right on the neck. It wasn't on the shoulder,
Yeah.
as we saw in the men's kata.
So they chose a different kind of start of the kata. So that's good. Also in bunkai, you have can go your own way. And so it makes also different.
And the team are trying to make the bunkai look as realistic as they can, like a fight. But of course, they're not allowed to injure each other. Arm lock, throw, Zuki, in deep Shikodachi stance. Two minutes, 15 seconds left. How do you feel about this, Dominic?
Yes, okay, techniques in the air, I don't like too much, but it's always interpretation. For me, the bunkai have to be really the fight.
Yeah.
And near to the kata.
I completely agree. The kata is supposed to be reflected through the bunkai. And
yes, and they have to be They have to be parts of difficulty like this, but still have to be able to.
John and Yoko, Gary, we saw this in the men's team as well.
Yes.
But you see the Empiochi was on the shoulder, it was not in the middle of the back. And again, the judges will be making these thoughts, retaining these thoughts as they go through the kata to see if this interpretation is believable in relation to a fight, as opposed to but in relation to a series of athletic movements. I don't think there's any doubt about that technique being effective if you were to take hold of somebody's throat, of course.
And also the hikite, so
yeah,
it makes more realistic.
And hikite being the pullback from the punch. So we see the end of the performance of Anand from the Spanish team with 20 seconds left, 21 seconds left on the clock. So there's no problem with that. If they were to go over the 6 minutes, which would be for the performance of the kata and the bunkai, they would be disqualified. And we've seen this happen in the past, but there's no problem with the Spanish team finishing. What can the Italians do? Battaglia, Potaro, and Pezzetti representing Italy. And the kata they have chosen to perform will be announced any second now. And Paikyo. During the eliminating rounds, the teams will have performed a variation of katas, a number of katas, but they cannot repeat any of the katas performed. So it's very difficult for them to decide in the rounds who they're up against, which kata to choose, and retain for a potential place in the final or for a bronze medal position. So there are strategies that need to be played.
Normally because you have to do the bunkai, so you can't have many kata for the bunkai. Maybe you have one or two. So, but usually you have the one for the medals and the other for the eliminations.
When you were performing as a competitor, Dominic, were you in the kata team?
Only in Switzerland. So we had not the possibility to go on international, but we had some team in Switzerland.
We have with Paikyo a very different kata. Matsubadachi, Shigodachi, Jordan Yoko Geri. Symmetry of the competitors in that sequence was good.
And just before that, a little.
There was.
But how you said it's difficult because they have a lot of changement of direction
and that's part of the risk of the kata, isn't
yeah.
it? The speed of the changes and the turns, and they have to work together as a team. They have to be in synchronization. And that can be considered as part of the complexity of the kata. They're starting the bunkai at 3 minutes, 37 seconds left of their 6 minutes. And fouls, and remember, fouls I talked about was time wasting, so judges will be thinking in their minds, were the pauses long? Were they appropriate for the kata? Are they too long? Are they wasting precious time? Because the bunkai is not the number of techniques that you can get into this part of the performance. It's about the quality of the techniques and how realistic they are. Interesting. Jordan Goromawashi.
It was more than a scorpion kick.
It was almost Sasorigeri, the scorpion kick. Again, now, if I was sitting in the chair as one of the judges, I might be having to be convinced that the Italians are strong enough to beat the Spanish team. What's your view at the moment, Dominic?
It's difficult because
they're very different katas, aren't they?
Yeah, different kata. I think the Italian chose the kata who's more difficult. They did well. Now
yes.
we have to see. I think the difference will be the bunkai, or could be the bunkai.
1 minute 43 seconds left on the clock.
And to take also risk in the bunkai. You saw the maigiri, somebody step forward, so it's
yes
to the throw and
yes
done well.
Tobi Mawashigeri. Jordan Yokogiri seems to be a favourite in the bunkai for many of the teams now. doesn't it?
Yes.
But it's delivered and held, which
Yeah.
is a safer way to perform a Jordan Yokogiri to the throat. Obviously, if it's done at speed, it's an incredibly dangerous technique to do.
Of course, but before they did the Maiguri, and they show it in the full speed, so they show the control
Yes.
and
So we have the performance of Anand from Spain against the kata from Italy. Teams will now line up and await the judgment of the 5 officials.
so they are more close than before the men's team.
Are we going to see red or blue? And we see red, 5-0. I have to say I concur with that judgment. I think I would have gone, as I said, for Spain also, but I don't think you were as convinced, Dominic.
It was very close, so they had both team had some very good points, and yes. So if you have to judge with the flags, it's really difficult, and 5-0 don't means that the other one was that much better.
No,
There
it
could
doesn't.
be
No,
really just
no, you're
little
absolutely
difference.
That's spot on. No, you sometimes you can have a 4-3, you can have a 4-1. Sometimes it's 5-0, but it doesn't mean it's a whitewash by any stretch of the imaginations. Because going through the kata, the judges are considering these fine balances between the fouls that may be committed, whether it's a loss of balance or the movements are not, the transition of the movement's not quite right, whether there's audible cues or synchronization, the quality of the techniques in the bunkai, the realism of those techniques that are being delivered. So all of that's being considered in their assessment over the kata. Just looking at some of the bunkai from the Spanish team here and their celebration of taking a European title in the 49th Senior European Championships here in Hakametsä Stadium, the ice hockey stadium here in Tampere in Finland. Now later in the year, just whilst we're waiting for the medal ceremony here, Dominic, in Bremen this year, we've got obviously the World Championships, the Senior World Championships, but there's a very special event as being part of the World Championships now. And this is being introduced, and it's for people with disabilities. Dominic, can you tell us a little bit about what that's going on? From your point of view, obviously on the technical committee, you would have been party to the decision to have karate for people with disabilities included.
Yes, of course we have. We had already in Paris. We had demonstration for the disability, and it's an important part in every sport. And we now have the first time the official World Championship with 3 categories, and I think it's a good way, an important way to go forward.
And can you tell us about the categories?
So we have 3 categories. We have blind and visually impaired, we have wheelchair, and we have learning disability. So we have 3 categories, and of course they will do kata. They can't perform kumite, but we will have those 3 categories, and we hope that we have lots of people who will take part of this.
It's wonderful development for karate, isn't it? To see that we have grown as a sport. For us, our aspiration has been to become an Olympic sport, but obviously we've seen the Olympic Games, the most recent in London, and the Paralympic Games that run alongside that, which are just amazing to see people with challenges, whether it's physically or whether it's visually, being able to compete at the very highest level. So we're going to have 3 new world champions in karate in those specific disciplines, which is, for me, is just absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, I think that it's really time to give them the opportunity to take part of our championships, because we have, I think, many clubs. They have people with disability, and it's really time to get them the chance. And we saw it in Paris. There's people with really high level.
In Paris, it was just incredible witnessing one of the performances for Ansu, and the competitor was blind and performing a difficult kata like Ansu with the jumps and the turns and the different changes in direction, not losing their direction, performing the kata with a prowess that would have put them in on the podium in many so-called people with ability. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible, and I think that he showed that it's possible. It's possible, even you have injury or disability, to do it, and it gives them a lot of power.
We have the medal presentation for the senior team. Kata, men's kata. And the gold medal going to Spain. Quintero, Salazar, Cabanel. European team champions. I was asking one of the coaches for that competitor in Paris, how did they manage to teach them to do the jump spin? How did they manage to learn that? Because it's so difficult. And what they said was that they lifted him in the air, rotated him so that he could do the technique, so he could, in his mind's eye, understand where he was in space, as it were. And I thought that was just amazing. If you have a karate class, any class, anywhere in the world, you can teach people how to enjoy what we do, the martial art of karate, and to be able to perform it now, we're going to see in Bremen at world level. It's just fantastic, I think.
Yes, it's a great thing, and okay, I think I have some people also in my club, and they love it. They love it to be also with, say, normal people, everybody together, and I think maybe also karate is one of the only sports you can have part of the normal training to be together, and that's a really powerful thing in our sports or in our art.
Yeah. In the learning disabilities, some of the competitors who have Down syndrome will be taking part in this. In my own dojo, we have one competitor. He's a black belt, and when he took his Dan grade, I'll never forget this. He took his Dan grade. He had to do the katas for his Dan grade, as everybody else did, and he couldn't remember the last two moves of one of the katas. But it was really quite humbling, because what he managed to do before he went on to the second kata, he completed the missing moves that he'd forgotten. And it was really quite emotional for the panel to see this. And of course, there were other people with so-called ability who didn't pass their black belt. But on that occasion, I'm delighted to say that Martin did. And he certainly deserved it. He was wonderful. We may see him in Bremen. I don't know. We're going to have the medal ceremony now for the ladies' team kata. And this is... See Belarus come on to the podium to collect their bronze medal. They'll be followed by Croatia. So Belarus beat Serbia in the bronze final 3-2 with their performance of Anan. Very popular kata today, as we can see. And Croatia who performed Goji Shihosho for their bronze medal final against Germany, who performed Gankaku.
Ja voittajajoukkue ja Euroopan mestari, first and winner,
Silver medal
gold medalist team, and also
going
European
to
champion team
Italy.
Spain, Espanjan joukkue.
Gattaro, Battaglia and Pazzetti. But the European female champions for 2014, Garcia Martin and Morata for Spain, with a 5-0 result in the final.
And please rise for the national anthem of Spain.
Spanish national kata team.
So yesterday they lost 2 finals. This time they won 2 finals. I think now they are happy
Perhaps
again.
the president of the Spanish Federation will be a little happier today. I bumped into him in the street yesterday walking back to the hotel, and he didn't look particularly happy,
He
as
wasn't
you can
happy.
imagine.
Yeah.
But it'll be all smiles today, I'm sure. 2 gold medals, 2 European titles, taking him with a very positive mind into the World Championships later this year in Germany.
Thank you.
I think we will see the Italians and the Spanish. They will be going for a medal also in the World Championship, because they're really experienced team, and
And we continue to the last
they're strong
final
enough.
of this competitions. Eli jatkamme sitten näiden Euroopan mestaruuskilpailujen.
And of course, in the female team event, we didn't see any of the French team, which are always been very strong in kata. But they did perform well in the male team bronze final with their performance. Again, Ivana. And they beat Austria 5-0, who were performing Ansu. And here we go for the final event of these 49th European Championships from Tampere in Finland. Leading out, as you can see, Enes Erken for Turkey. We have Gunders, Atkas, Atbur, Kaptan, Kemaloglu, and Shinatekin for Turkey. We have Aliyev, Atamov, Gobali, Hanaznov, Mamayan, and Agelarazad for Azerbaijan. Turkey in blue. Azerbaijan. Turkey in red, Azerbaijan in blue.
So Azerbaijan, they show they can be also strong without Agayev.
Yes, exactly. They're in the European finals without their star performer. We have Altmir coming out number 1, Erken, Kemalog, Gunders and Kaptan. In case you weren't watching yesterday, there is a new situation in the rules for karate. Each coach has a card. One is blue, one is red. The first 2 fighters out here, we have Altmir for Turkey and Gobali for Azerbaijan.
Yeah, the card this morning changed all the result for the third place.
Incredible decision.
Just in the last second.
Amazing. The literally last second, wasn't it? René Schmall for Holland turned the match round, and ultimately he was in the 4th position with 1 second left to go, got a 3-point score and won 3-2 because the decision was changed as a coach presented a challenge to his competitors. Jordan Mawashigeri going for Gobali from Turkey. He's going to start the clock now with 3 points. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left of the match. And already the Turks are going ahead in the first match with 3 clear points against Azerbaijan. So Altmar has got a lot of work to do to bring his team back in. Jordan Zuki, fantastic. What a response, Dominic. Came straight back in. Brilliant Ashibarai, taking the man to the floor and finishing with a great Yakuzuki. This is an exciting team event, no doubt about that. We've got 3-3 already, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Still plenty of time for both to score more points.
Yeah, that's good. The first match, you can take some risk for the advantage, of course. And both are willing to score a lot of points.
Altamar standing in the center of the mat in red. Gubali for Azerbaijan in blue. That initial opening action has just settled them down. They're both now reluctant to lose another point. Remember, there are five matches in the team event. Chudanzuki from Ao. Gabanali taking the lead, 4 points to 3. Very good, Chudanzuki. Altmaier is going to get straight back in this match. I think he's going to be fortunate. Then he tries to Jordan Uramascu. And again, these two, one for the other. Brilliant technique. Straight off the back leg. Takes his 3 points. He's now 6 points to 4. The Jordan kick. And again, the two settle in the center of the mat. But Azerbaijan now trailing by 2 points in the first opening match of this 5-man team.
Tried to sweep again, but not this time.
Good to see they're holding on, but they broke away. They weren't going to risk. Jordan Zuki from Akka.
Yeah, it was too close for the Mawashi, and
Altmar again, extending his lead by another point. It's a little bit too close for Ao to score.
yeah.
7 points to 4 now in the opening match. 1 minute now, just under 1 minute left of the match to go. Jordan Urabawashi, oh my word. How fast are these guys? They can use their legs like we can use our arms.
It's fantastic. They're really
And it's 3 points now. It's going to bring this back 7-7. This is what people want to see. Karate of this speed, this standard is fantastic. Again, they settle just for a moment. Thinking about the strategy. How are they going to edge ahead again? What are they going to do? Jordan Mawashi from Gubani. Testing each other, pushing forward. Kamala taking the center of the tatami. Will they? Referee should break them in a second.
Yeah. It's too long.
Too long. They're holding on. Both of them going to get a category 2 warning. Chikoku. "11 seconds, moving into the last 10 seconds. Toshi Baraku. Toshi Baraku means there's only a few seconds left of the match. 4 minutes. Good throw. Can he finish? Can he
But he hold.
But
Holding.
Golbani, the Azerbaijan in blue, will be penalised. He'll receive now Hansoka Chui because it's within the last 10 seconds. But it's Hikiwaki. It's a draw.
Was a
very
fight.
good match.
Very
So
exciting.
we have a draw for the first match. With
sitten toiseen otteluun.
And who are we out for second place? We have Aliev and Erken. This is going to be a real match. Number 2.
The medal ceremony of this male team Kumite category. Team Germany, Team Netherlands. Please prepare to the medal.
Now, Erken beat Atomov in the individuals to become European champion. This is turning in a little bit of a wrestle. Pulls his gi off. Erkin, big, strong fighter.
Yeah, we have big difference of weight. Aliev
But the
is
low
just
profile of Aliev, as we can see with Rafael Agiev, the low profile can often disbalance the taller opponent, and they can take them down to the ground, to the mat to score. Enes Erkin for Turkey in red. Aliev for Azerbaijan in blue.
Of course, Aliev have to be always in motion. You have to go left, right.
And we see that style of Taisebaki trying to avoid the techniques, slipping, the punches. Two minutes, 20 seconds left of the match. This is the second of the 5 matches. Jordan Zuki from Erkin for Turkey.
Yeah, he went too straight in, and of course with the long arm from
Erkin, yes.
Erkan is not possible to get in.
Juran Mashigeri from Erkin. He has 4 flags. Doesn't matter whether he's going to get Aliev is complaining that he felt it was blocked, but we now have 3 points on the score with the Chudan Washigeri from Enes Erkin of Turkey in red.
Aliev should turn more or take out the technique of Erkan and then try to counter, but now it's more difficult because we know in the back.
Both of them have Chikoku at the moment. Well, it was just after Yame, so Erkin couldn't deliver a punch. But Aliev was holding on and stopping him having the ability to score a point, in which case he receives a category 2 for holding on. So he has a Chikoku on the card. And he's trailing by 3 points. Oh, fast Jaranzuki from Erkin. Again, the Turk going over the top, using that reach, as you were saying, Dominic, to beat Aliev on the way in.
We saw that already against Thomas, that Aliev, the guard is very low. So, but in this case, I don't understand why he don't protect better.
If he keeps he has his front hand very low, Aliev, doesn't he? And he's kind of opening himself up for those high Jaranzukis from Erkin. I think he was propelled out, so if you step out of the area and your opponent has pushed you out, is not Jogai. One of the judges sees it as Jogai, but the referee doesn't agree.
Yeah, because he was pushed.
He was pushed out, he was propelled out, so it's not a foul. Tries the Jordan Washigeri from Erkin. How is Aliev going to get back into this? What are you going to tell him, Dominic? You are his coach now.
To take out of line and to pull it out.
Chunam Washigeri from Aliev attempt, but he's moved into the line again of Erkin's very lightning fast Yakuzuki. Erkin now extends his lead to 5-0. If he gets to 8 points clear, then the match. Jordan Mawashigeri from Erkin. And this is exactly what I was about to say. As soon as it gets to 8-0, the match finishes there. And that's where we are. Erkin for Turkey. Now, the only issue here is if the referee believes the contact was too hard. It was a brilliant technique. Now, is Aliev exaggerating the level of the contact? And if he is exaggerating, then he could receive Hansokachui. So, Kjell Jakobsson gives the ippon, and quite rightly, in my opinion, penalizes for exaggeration against Aliyev,
It's
and the
0,
match
so
finishes here
finish,
8-0. That was a really exciting match for me,
Yeah,
Dominic.
it was clear. It was clear. But I think the tactic of Aliyev was wrong. He should
Yes.
turn. He was starting good. He was turning left, right, and that's the way you have to fight against a taller one.
Yes.
Okay, this time we have
Match
same
number 3.
size.
And we have Mamiev. And Kemaloglu. So, match number 3. Kemaloglu, Turkey in red. Mamiev, Azerbaijan in blue.
So this time, what I like in the final, they really fight for points. We had other finals years ago. Nothing was going on, and this time they really
Going for
try
it.
to score. Yeah. So of course now Azerbaijan are under pressure.
So we saw the opening match finish in a spectacular 7 points all draw. Our second match, we saw Erkin with a clear, fantastic performance of 8-0 to take Turkey 1 match clear. First team to reach 3. And brilliant, excellent takedown.
And just one.
But only one judge
But
has
now
scored. But here we will see
review.
the challenge from the Azerbaijan coach. And there will be a replay on the video of the cameras sitting at the side of the tatami as we see here. And let's see if we can tell from this angle on the screen if it is a successful Zuki. He steps up and he throws a punch. Now, the argument would be whether or not it was correct distance, because he was fairly low. And the decision...
Close, yeah, that was too close.
Too close. So the coach is now not in a position for Azerbaijan to use that blue card again in this match. He has a card for each of his 5 competitors and can use it. This time a completely different outcome. Yeah. Wonderful takedown, very, very quick, very strong, and he's going to earn himself 3 points. This puts a completely new situation for Azerbaijan. They're now taking the lead 3 points to 1 in the third match of the men's team Kumite final. If Mamiev can win this match, this bout,
and the Chuda Mawashi was
one
in.
each,
Yeah.
and again, a great Chuda Mawashi, Dominic.
Yeah, that was good. He used the grabbing of his opponent and just kicked him, and that was... This time was on good distance.
Mamiev, Azerbaijan, takes the lead now in this bout. 5-3, 5-1.
Again, both together.
So we have a situation where both people can score. But Al had 2 flags. We don't have a challenge for Aka. Mamiev leading 6 points to 1, 1 minute and 7 seconds left.
6-0.
6-0. Mamiev moving into the last 6. If Mamiev can score another 2 points,
so
it changes, doesn't it? The outcome of this balance of this match. Erkin's 8-0.
So we start from
lead,
0.
and we start from 0 again.
So it makes it interesting until the end.
And how is he going to score these 2 points? That Chuda Mawashi? Is he going to go for 3 points? Because only 8 can score. If he takes it, do a takedown and gets an ippon, he would then have 9 points, but he can only have a maximum of an 8-0 differential. Now, Mamiev for Azerbaijan is going to be penalized for a foul. and receive a Chikoku warning. Spinning Jordan Yoramawashi, but failed to score. We have one flag. Now
One
you
flag,
might well see a challenge for that point from the coach, and we do. We have one judge sitting in that position, but we have a challenge, so the referee will have to stop the match. We'll have a look at that playback.
Maybe the second, but
Jordan Uramawashi falls over.
position wasn't.
Mamiev moves to the
Good
side.
enough.
Can that punch go through? Is it good enough? One of the judges felt it was. I'm not so convinced that the technique was good enough to score. And neither are the referee commission,
No.
who will be the people to review. So now we still have a 6-0 lead from Mamiev for Azerbaijan against his Kemaloglu from Turkey, who will be desperately trying to get back into this match.
So of course for Azerbaijan would be good that he don't take any points, and if possible to
Extend his lead.
And
Oh, brilliant!
really
Really
get
lightning
it, yeah.
fast. Jadanzuki
Yeah.
from Mamalev.
he make a good chance from leg to sweep and then to punch. So
Superb movement. And now it's 7-0. One more point
one more point.
from Mamiev. And he has restored that position for the teams between Turkey and Azerbaijan. And he has only 8 seconds to try and secure that last point.
So
But as
don't
all
have
is
any
not
risks.
lost, he's satisfied with a 7-0. If at the end of the 5 matches, the scores are equal in number of wins from each side, then it goes on the number of points scored. But just before the match finishes, Mamiev was deemed to be wasting time. He stepped out of the tatami, and because of that, he will receive a Hansakachui warning. But it means nothing at the end of this match. He takes his 7 points off the mat and a very good win against Kemaloglu from Turkey. Now, match number 4. Crucial position between Hazanov of Azerbaijan and Gunduz for Turkey. Match number 4. Turkey still winning by 1 match. And, Turkey and Azerbaijan. Equal on matches so far, 1-1. But Gunduz is going to take the lead with a Chudangeri to score Wazari. Both fighters in the center. Both fighters in the center of the tatami. Each trying to find a way through the guard of their opponent. Gunduz yesterday took a silver medal in the individuals.
Another
Jonazuki
counter,
from
counter. Yeah, that was good.
the Azerbaijan fighter. Hazanov going to take the lead now with a Yuko score. Can Gunduz claw this point back? Remember, it's not about the number of points in the first instance. It's an attempt for a Jodanzuki, but we have 2 of the judges believing that Hazanov could have stayed in the tatami if he'd tried. So he'll receive a Chikoku warning for Jogai. Jodanzuki from
Jodanzuki again, yeah.
Hazanov, lightning fast, off the front hand, Gazamazuki. Extends, draws back that point now, 2-2. Tactically, these teams are very well matched, don't you think, Dominic? Jodanzuki.
Yes,
And now, again, Hazanov has to be very, very careful here because he's going to receive a keikoku. If he gets another Hansoku Chui, and then the fourth and final time would be Hansoku, he'd lose the match. So he doesn't want to be in a position where that. He's still got a long time on the mat.
And now we
Fast
get the counter,
Jodanzuki
yeah.
from Gundas, though. He's going to take the lead now, 3 points to 2 in the fourth match. Both teams with 1 win each. Again, both fighters taking the center of the tatami, trying to find a way through. Attempted Judan Moashigeri from Gundas, unsuccessful. Atamov, wondering how he can get back in. He's trailing by 1 point. Tries a Jodanzuki, but it doesn't come off. He's still wrestling, but he's pushed. And the referee stops them. No warnings to come from that engagement. We go again. Hazanov, trailing by 1 point against Gundas in red. Gundas will be happy for a win. Doesn't matter. And a fast Jodanzuki again from Gundas. As Hazanov came in, he moved off to the right side, through that Jodanzuki, takes his lead forward to a clear 2 points. That means that Hazanov now has to get a minimum of 3 points to win, or 2 points to draw.
So you always start the same attack.
Jodanzuki again from Gundas, but Hazanov was lightning fast in his own right and draws back one of those, but he has a challenge coming in for the punch from Gundas from the coach. Gundas received 1 red flag, whereas Hazanov had 2 blue flags out. Now, Hazanov is going to score a point because 2 of the flags agree that. If the challenge comes in from this Jodanzuki here, which looks pretty good from this angle, I have to say, Dominic, but are the referee commission going to be convinced and instruct the referee to award a point to Gundas? I believe he is.
Yeah, he is.
And a good decision, I think. And this is an example of where the cards can work very, very successfully.
But this time,
But
yeah.
Gundas was lightning quick on this time. Absolutely no question about that. He's going to now take his lead again to 3. 6 points to 3 in favor of Turkey in the fourth match. Both teams at the moment have 1 win each. Hazanov takes him to the ground. Oh, just runs out of time before he can deliver the technique. So Turkey take their second win. And we have all left to play for, because the fifth and final match will be between Atamov and Captain.
So Azerbaijan have to win with 4 points difference.
And Atamov has the ability to do this. We've seen this before. He's a brilliant fighter.
He's brilliant, and that's why he's the last one who fights. I think he's able to do it, but it won't be easy.
What tactics would you give him? How would you tell him now to come back into this and try and overturn this 2-1 lead from Turkey?
So first of all, you have to take the lead from the beginning. And of course, the Turkish will try to get out of the fight.
And here we are.
Here we are, but
With
both score.
we have
two flags
two
for
flags
red.
for blue, and we have 2 flags for red.
Red.
So each of the competitors score, cancelling each other out. Fifth match of the senior team, men's Kumite, for the 49th European Championships here in Tampere, in Finland. Kaptan for Turkey in red, Atamov for Azerbaijan in blue. Turkey leading 2 wins to 1. If at the end of this match, if it's a draw, 2 wins. Oh, fast Jordan Zutki from Atamov. But he only receives one blue flag.
Two,
oh, he has
two.
two. So he's going to take that point.
Yeah.
So Atamov now taking the lead in this match. 1 minute 56 seconds left.
You need
Atamov
other
in
2
blue,
points.
Turkey in red. With Kaptan. Both fighters just wrestling. Oh, it was so close, but no flags. I'm not sure. It was difficult to see, but I do think we will get a challenge from the Azerbaijan coach.
No challenge.
He's decided not to challenge.
Yeah.
It was very close because he wasn't in a good position to actually see the finish of the technique. And he didn't want to lose the opportunity to show that blue card at some other point later on. Again, both fighters just wrestling. Chuda Mawashi Geri from Kaptan, but unsuccessful. Jordan Mawashi. Oh my word, what a fantastic technique. The athleticism, the flexibility of Atamov, putting in a Jordan Mawashi to score 3 points, taking his lead now 5 points to 1 in this all-decisive match.
Now the Turkish need to have 1 point at least.
And remember, if this is a draw after this match, if both teams have the same number of victories, it goes to a points count back.
So for the
So
moment,
Kaptan needs to start to think about coming back in, regardless of that 8-0 win earlier on in the in the second match with Erkin. Just less than 1 minute left of the match. Atamov for Azerbaijan in blue, leading 5-1 against Kaptan for Turkey in red. Fast Jordan Zutki again from the Azerbaijan fighter, but not good enough. Takes him down to the mat. Just couldn't free himself to be able to score that 3-point score for Ippon. You can see the tension on.
now Captain have to be
President
more
of the
active.
Kaptan
So
has to.
you have to change the rhythm to get the point.
Fast Jordan Zutki.
But,
First Jordan Zutki from Kaptan, but Atamov goes underneath. And we're going to see a challenge from the coach of Kaptan.
I think Captain technique passed, but we will see that now.
We'll have a look on the action replay. But we do know that Atamov has 2 flags, so Atamov will score his
He will
point.
score, yeah.
Now look carefully at the Turk in red there.
No points, yeah.
The form was maybe a little bit, he bounced off the top of his head, so it's not a valid score. Yura Mawashi went past, not good enough.
So now will
Kaptan
be
now starting to get a little bit desperate. He knows
Yeah.
he needs to try to come back in to draw this match if he can.
And of course, against Atamov, it will be very difficult.
And a big score. We move into the last 10 seconds at Toshi Baraku, the final match of the team event.
Now he needs 3 points.
And Suzuki from both fighters, but it's going to cancel each other out. Kaptan earns an important point, but it's cancelled out by the 7th score from Atamov. 3 seconds left. Atamov just nonchalantly steps out of the tatami. He knows that he can receive a Hansoka Chui, and it doesn't matter too much, but he has 1 second with Jordan Zutki from Atamov to finish the match. Doesn't get the score, but it doesn't stop his team from flying onto the tatami, and his coach celebrating a well-earned victory against a very, very strong Turkish team. Kaptan feeling dejected, looking to the ground, to the tatami, feeling upset. But today's the day for the Azerbaijan national team, and they didn't have one of their key players, of course, in Agiev, Rafael Agiev, who's carrying injury at the moment, but the team is strong enough without him. How do you feel this is going to bode them for the World Championships later in Bremen, do you think, Dominic?
Yeah, if AGF will be back also in the team, that could be very interesting. But I think the Turkish, they did it well, so they had a good start, and both of them, they're really good teams and very strong, and we can see that even it's possible to beat the Turkish.
Yes. Yes.
They had a very strong team, but at the end,
And what is the Azerbaijan team? I think you mentioned this yesterday. Aren't the tallest of nations. A lot of these guys in their team are below 6 feet. We see lots of other teams, particularly from places like Croatia, Bosnia, where most of the team members are over 6 feet.
yeah,
But the little guys are doing incredibly well. They have low center of gravity. They're very, very good for takedowns. They're incredibly flexible. Their agility is magnificent. And this is, I think, why they are so successful.
yeah, and very strong, very strong. They look small, but they're very strong, and some are also very heavy. If we saw the final over 84 kilos,
Yes.
so. But there was a good final, very interesting. There was good battle from beginning to the end, and
So, Dominic, the card system. This is the first time it's been used in the European Championships. It's likely to be used in the World Championships. It's already being proven to be successful in many other sports, isn't it? In fencing, in taekwondo, we've seen in the Olympics, in judo. Karate's moving into a new age of technology, and the quick speed of decision, and the coaches having the ability to have a voice with the use of the card. It seems to be the right way to move forward, don't you agree?
yeah, I agree 100%. We saw it this weekend. We had many decisions who changed the fight, and it was correct, or at the same time, after a mistake of the coach,
Yeah.
there was nothing to say anymore. So it make it really good, and I think we have to continue with this system, and I think it will happen.
Yeah,
for the future.
I have no doubt. One of the things that does, I think, is worth considering. Sometimes when you see, for example, 3 red flags, let's say, from the judges, and nothing for blue, or 1 flag for blue, and blue, the coach for blue, for owl, then contest that. You could be forgiven to see, well, why didn't the judges see blue? But of course, the judges have only the ability to show 1 score. And that score is the first score that they see.
That's it, yeah.
So, for example, if you have 3 red flags and red was first, they don't normally show blue. So I think this is something that maybe karate needs to consider. Because it could be that they see actually both techniques, and perhaps there's an opportunity to score both techniques for red and blue. But maybe that's something that the WKF at the highest level, and you're on the technical committee, I'd be interested to see what your view might be for a development of that nature.
Yeah, I think could be possible, but I think with the flag system would be difficult then to calculate, okay, now we have 3 here, 4 there, and maybe there
Yes.
should be also electronic way, or
Well, if we're moving into a new era
Yeah.
with karate, with technology helping us to make the right decisions,
yeah, that you have
perhaps you have a point there.
yeah, maybe. But for the moment, I think that the first step is done with the card, and the next step will follow, for sure.
Yeah, the process isn't as important as getting the right result.
Yeah.
And if it means that the challenge from the coach can be accepted, then that's a good thing. We've seen over the last 4 days the card system being used, and this is the first time it's been used at a European Championship. And it seems to have been very, very successful, I think. Most of the coaches, I don't know that many of them are upset with this. We don't see the frustration in some of the coaches as we've seen in previous competitions, do we?
Yeah, yeah, because they have a voice now. And of course, they are happy when they are right and when they are wrong. So
And we
they
have,
have
to,
to agree
yeah,
the-
we have to,
the
we have
result.
to remember, of course, don't we, that karate is evolving. The sport of karate is changing. We aren't as we were 30 years ago. It's a different sport now. It's much faster, much more flexibility in the competitors, more speed, more agility. It's a modern sport, and karate is moving forward with technology and the ability for the coaches to have a voice, as you quite rightly say, Dominic, to change the outcome. We saw this with Rene Small for Holland in a bronze medal final. Remember in Tenerife what happened to Rene. Rene had put in two excellent techniques, which normally would have scored Ippon, but didn't have the support from all the judges. And I was doing the commentary with Tiki on that, and we both felt from our position that it should have scored. It didn't, and sadly, Rene didn't get the final. That perhaps he ought to have done, but maybe that injustice in a way has led its way to you on the technical committee and others on the technical committee to make this decision. Was there an influence? Did it influence that?
I think that there was many things. Also, of course, when it happens like this with small, it helps. It helps that you see, okay, that wasn't correct, or we could do it better. And yeah, we have it not only on final, we have it also in previous fights, and we saw that the coaches are not happy because they saw something
Yep.
what the referee didn't saw,
Yep.
and now they are a part of the decision, and
Which is good.
so it makes them more close, and that's what we try to put everybody more close, so the referees, the fighters, and the coaches, and that's one step, and I think it was a big step forward.
Yeah, and today, Rene's was in a completely different situation because he was losing by 2 points
Yeah.
for almost all of the match. In fact, into the last second, just before the clock was going to zero, and Rene Schmall delivered an Ippon technique, a takedown and a fantastic Zuki. None of the judges, including the referee, gave the score. The coach protested, or contested, should I say, that point, and the referee commission agreed with it. He then receives 3 points, and he completely turned round that situation for Holland in that fourth crucial match, and by winning 3 points to 2. And then, of course, it went into the fifth and final match, which the Dutch Holland won.
One, yeah.
Brilliant.
No, I think it's correct. It's correct for the sports, and today you have everything on video, and you can see it. 30 years ago we had some video, but not. So I think it's correct this way, and they will help to be better.
Yes.
Also for the referees, they have to really be attentive, and if there is if you score aka or ao, that's one thing, but you don't react. So
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
next
that is
time-
something. If you see nothing, then we still have to have more education for referees.
yes,
More opportunity for referees to understand this and to understand that there is a change in karate now. But here we are for the medal ceremony for the final event, the men's team Kumite championships. And we're seeing 3 gentlemen there. President for Azerbaijan, president for Turkey, and the president of the World Karate Federation, Antonio Espinos. Here we have the president for the Turkish Karate Federation, presenting a bronze medal to the German team. Fought really well in the individuals, didn't they, to get through to the bronze medal position.
yes.
And just while we're watching the medals being presented here to the teams, just to remind everybody, of course, that next year, karate, which is the only non-Olympic sport, will be taking part in the European Games, the first inaugural European Games in Baku in Azerbaijan in 2015. Karate will be on display, and there will be 8 competitors in each of the weight categories, and the selection for those 8 competitors will be taking place at next year's European Championships
In Istanbul.
in Istanbul, and that will be taking place in March now,
In March
I believe,
already,
Dominic.
yeah. So we have the Junior European in February and in March already.
And
Seniors.
competitors in the juniors could also qualify if their age changes. Is that possible
no,
for them?
No, they have to be in the
Senior.
on the seniors. Okay, if they change between and they
That's what I mean.
compete on the
And the seniors, and they went
it's
through.
possible, yeah. If
So-
they are on the best 8, they will be.
And as we were talking about earlier, in Bremen this year, there will be the Karate World Championships for the very first time for people with disabilities in wheelchair, blind and visually impaired, and those with learning difficulties. Will they be in the European Games next year?
No, not next year, no.
But hopefully,
But I
In
think
time
in
to
the
come.
in the future, because we have to do first a championship, so the first World Championships, and then I think for the future they will be on every European and World Championship.
yeah. And Turkey now on the podium receiving their silver medal from their president.
I heard the Turkish had 4 months preparation for the European Championship,
Incredible.
so I think all the nation will be happy to have that.
Oh.
But
I mean,
of
these
course,
guys are complete professionals now.
they are
aren't
complete professionals. Yeah.
And this is how they spend their life. And the champions for the 2014 49th European Karate Championships here in Tampere, Finland. Azerbaijan receiving their gold medal from their president. Without their star, Rafael Agiev, who's unfortunately injured at the moment, but no doubt will be ready for Bremen for the World Championships. They're still strong enough to take the European title, and in quite some style. Azerbaijan take a European title into next year's inaugural European Games in Baku in 2015. And as you see in the center of the 3 officials, the president of the World Karate Federation and European Karate Federation, Antonio Espanos from Spain. National anthem of Azerbaijan. So we come to the end of the 49th European Senior Karate Championships, and hopefully Tiki Donovan will be back again with us at the World Championships. Tiki is unfortunately having had a knee operation and was unable to join us for the commentary for this European Championships. But I'd like to say thank you so much to my friend Dominique Siglio from Switzerland for all your help, Dominic. It's been fantastic. And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, enjoyed it. Get better and better. But I prefer to do all the work. But maybe one time I will be back.
It would be good. You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Okay, so here we are, just closing pictures of some of the action from the team and the celebration from the Azerbaijan team. Well, we say goodbye and thank you very much indeed for watching. I hope you'll be here again for the World Championships in Bremen. And it's goodbye from me, Billy Brennan, and over to you, to say cheerio. Thank you, Dominic, so much.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Seuraavalle järjestäjälle eli Turkin